Out and about for Nutrien here in downtown sunny Crookwell. Craig Judd, hello.
Oh, how are you, mate?
The sunny part might be a lie. People can see the steam coming out of my mouth.
I'm not sure. It's been sunny here for at least 4 months.
It is wet. It is very wet here, isn't it?
Yeah, they tell me it's the highest rainfall in consecutive years on history. So we average around about 1,100 mils of rain a year, and I think we've already had that this year, and we had significantly more than that last year.
That's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, look, I mean, it has positives because we're going to have ample feed in the spring and the summer, and right through, it'll stay green right through to the autumn and start of winter again next year. So there's positives, but it's tough toiling.
It actually grows out good horses, and I think it was it Brian Hancock or someone said that to you once, that it's you'll grow good horses here on natural grass.
Absolutely, yeah. We've already proven that. There's horses that are now 3-year-olds. Tough Love's probably, the shining light off small numbers, but there seems to be a real genuine soundness about them and a lot of bone. So we weigh them. We do some comparisons to Vic, and they're very similar in size and weight. I just feel that there's just a little bit more sort of bone structure to them, but they look like hairy goats out there at the moment, though. They've got big, heavy, hairy, woolly coats as we speak, and they'll take a bit longer to come out. The Victorian horses, I was down there a few weeks ago, and they're shiny and they look fantastic.
The paddock, and I've got a video of the paddock, and we will overlay them. Boys paddock, not all sales horses either, but a good.
No.
How many's in the group?
About 27. We like to run, 25 or so to a mob. They're in big paddocks, so well, some of the paddocks get out to 50, 60 acres.
Yep.
So I like to run them in mobs. They have they get fed twice a day, morning and night, every day with biomare pellets, and they're drenched and trimmed every 6 to 8 weeks, and they've been all fully immunised. They've been handled. They've been through. I think they're about to do their third prep through. So they're leading on your shoulder. They've been on the walker. They load off and on the float. They're bloody nearly self-loading on the float now. So they're going really well. It's
a funny thing because the sales they're still a little way away.
Yep.
But they're going to come upon us pretty quickly, and that's one of the reasons I want to get out and about, make sure people are aware of the studs for starters, because I try to say to some of the guys in the quieter time, try to catch up with them in the quieter time.
Yep.
They look at me a little bit funny because there is no such thing as a quieter time. There is always something on the go, isn't there, at a stud?
Yeah, absolutely. Like we cram that sort of yearling sale education into them in the winter. So, I found you just can't chase it in that last period, or especially when they come in for the yearling preparation. Plus you've got a dozen trims you've had to do through there. So if you've got the education into them early, and then you continue it through, it makes your life a lot easier, of course. And then once we've got staff and the likes here for the yearling prep, there's not much these horses haven't seen.
No, and it's great. The one thing I will say too, we'll say about how much rain there is, but the hills here, like the water would drain away so quickly. You've got low spots, obviously, but up on the hills, they've got plenty of area to get out of the weather, and it's so much like New Zealand in a way.
It is very much. We're on top of the hill here, so we're on top of the Great Divide. So we're at about 1,100
high.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's a good spot.
How does your draft look for next year? Like, are you well, firstly, before we get to next year, like the recap on last year, you would have been blown away at the end of the day with Benstud as a whole, not just New South Wales and Victoria, but as a whole, the Benstud results.
Fantastic. Yeah, really, really good. So I think we come in with about a 60,000 average. Us and our clients might have been more around sort of 50. But no, fantastic results, and what Mark and the team have done there has been phenomenal. It's just completely changed the game.
It has, and it's quite unique, like you said there. I think there was definitely one horse that was sent from here to Victoria because it was a Victorian market.
Yep.
That's one of the great things that you do have, being able to target markets, if you like, horses that are going better in New South Wales. You might have one in Victoria that will come up here, vice versa. Good string to your bow, if you like, for Benstud Standardbreds.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're capitalising on the dual eligibility. So stallions that are based, fresh standing stallions based in Victoria, we send the mares to New South Wales to breed them back that way, and we just try to make a nice sort of even draft. And as you say, we've got the ability now to be able to send a horse back and forward to where we think that it might suit, and Queensland being another string to our bow. So we sent a couple of mares up there last year to foal down and be rebred. So we've got a couple of Q-breds already into the sale, and we're sending another couple of mares up there to foal down. So our draft for Queensland, I think at this stage, is about 12.
You got 12 going there.
Yep.
Must also say Bathurst, and it's just up the road, about an hour from here. So that'd be nice for you playing at home, basically.
Yeah, fantastic. So we've got 4 at the moment, but we've got a few other clients to get across and see whether that, the Bathurst markets might suit them better than Melbourne or Sydney. So we haven't got across that completely yet. But at this stage, I've got 55 for the 4 sales.
55, and that's from the New South Wales camp here?
No, that's Victorian as well.
Yep.
So there's 21 that'll go to the Melbourne sale at this point.
Yep.
Then they'll prep a few that are already in Victoria. They'll prep a few for the Queensland and the Bathurst sale just to take the pressure off a little bit. So we basically work together and for whatever to try and lighten the load and get our best results. So I think at this point, I've got 21 Sydney. 22 in Melbourne, I think, and then,
the other 2. I will catch up with Mark and Trace too. It's basically, I'm coming to New South Wales. It's the inaugural race tomorrow for Nutrien, and although I suppose field sizes are down a little bit, it's an exciting time. It's a new frontier for the race series. It's you and Dad are going to be out there as well. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, Mum and Dad and myself and partner Beck, we're going to go up there tomorrow and have a look. So we've got 12 horses out of the Benstud draft, ours and clients that are in those heats. So
congratulations! I didn't know that. Well done.
Yeah, no, fantastic. So really, really pleased. Sat down and had a glance at them the other day and thought, oh, geez, we've got a few. And then when I had a really good, serious look, you got Naturally Gifted and Petrarca, and there's some exceptional horses that come off the Victorian farm at that time. And so there was 12, so I was really surprised.
That must make you proud. Like I think you see you sell a horse, you might be sale topper, you might be close to it, doesn't matter. But to see that, the fruits of your labour, 12 horses going around on the one race day, it must make you guys really proud. Yeah,
absolutely. We, as I say, we pride ourselves on the work that we put into the horses and the feedback that we get is, they're an easier horse to manage and break in, and I guess it gives the trainers an opportunity to race them, relatively early because they've got that real backbone of education, so it's got to make life a lot easier. We've got fantastic clients, with really, really nice mares, so that helps. Fantastic vets on both farms. It's a really good structure, and, it's something that we started from ground zero, and so it does make you proud.
Here in Crookwell, firstly, how far are we from Sydney, roughly?
About 2 hours, over 2 hours, yep.
2 hours from Sydney. You've got how many horses here that'll be going through the sale? Did you say all up? About 20. Under the bus.
So we got 30. We'll have 34 that'll go through this place. That'll go to Queensland, Sydney and Bathurst, and then the Melbourne draft will all be down on the Victorian farm.
It's just one of those things that last year when I was going around and what you look for in a yearling, asking some of these notable horse people and they look at them 2, 3, 4 times, and that's what I want people to be aware of and come out here and have a look. You encourage people to come and look at them at an early age? Yeah,
absolutely. People are welcome to come out here any time. So we're an hour and a quarter north-west of Canberra and a couple of hours south of Sydney. So, it's not... if people are going up from Melbourne to Sydney for whatever reason, or Queensland, give us a call. Call in and have a look at them.
You got some lovely types here too, and we will go through those in a minute. But it is one of those things. Like I said, it doesn't matter who I interviewed. They all said about looking at them 2 and 3 times at different stages, seeing them when they're nice and hairy, and you know, just out in the paddock with a mob and seeing what sort of horses they are to when they get in the box, and they get the sales day. They're all groomed immaculately, so you get to see how they develop and how they change. Yeah, well, as a buyer, it sort of makes me a little nervous just seeing them on the sale weekend. I think if you have been able to see them in their natural environment a few times, I think it gives you an advantage. Yeah, and these guys out here, they're nice and relaxed and enjoying themselves. Some of the ones you want to, not so much highlight, but some of the people that really stand by you, Juddy? Yeah, absolutely. We've got, just
ones that representing Benstud for the Sydney sales. And as I said, I won't elaborate on the Melbourne ones because Mark can do that. But we've got a half to Naturally Gifted, half to JOK, half to Pat's Beach Storm. First foal out of Miss Graceland. Really nice filly. So yeah, they're some of the Benstud ones that are going. But then on top of that, Sloy's, you've got Miss Hazel's Group 1 winner.
Last year you were able to sell for Sloy's for the first time. You were excited about that because
we've sold for them for a few years actually.
Oh, was it? Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, no, we have sold for them
was
for a
it
few
the
years.
first one out of Miss Hazel, or that family might have been available?
Yeah,
No?
well, he was a big, bold. He wasn't the kindest looking fella. He had a bit of a bettor's head on him. He made 80,000. So the Group 1, Lou's a Group 1 winner. Ravishing Girl's already left a Group 1 winner. So they've got some really quality horses and have done for years. Yep. I've got a couple of new guys on the scene. Matt Tuzer, he bought Miss Rock and Roll off the Sloys, and he's got a really nice crunch. So she's a daughter of Miss Hazel.
Yep.
And he's also got one out of a mare called Evie Mack. She's a really closely related to 2IC, which is Jackie Gibson family. Dougal Steele, new guy, had one go through the APG sales this year, but he's got a Captain Treacherous colt this year that's outstanding. So that family goes back to Christian Cullen. So
wow,
really top
Treacherous
family.
Back to Christian Cullen.
Yeah, so and
no one will look at that one.
No, it's it's an absolute. He's an absolute cracker. He's a big, bold, big-bodied fella. He once again has got a bit of a bull fat on him, but he's a real nice horse, lovely horse to handle. Probably the one I really want to give a rap to is Neville Cranston. He's
I love the breeding of this one. So it'll get a lot of people thinking this one. That's for sure.
Nev's shifted out of Victoria and he's setting up a place.
Has he really?
Yeah, he has. He's shifted over near Bathurst. So he bought Someone to Love off a client of mine. So Someone to Love is a Sun Beach. So she's a 3/4 sister to Ladies in Red.
Yeah.
So she's already left a nice horse called Anami, and she's got a full brother to Anami in the sale. So I'm really hopeful that Nev gets a good result, and he's an outstanding colt. Actually, he's probably one of the better colts.
So it's a Sun Beach Somewhere colt. Ladies in Red is by Mach 3.
No, Someone to Love's a Sun Beach Somewhere.
Oh, yep.
And of course, Ladies in Red's Mach 3.
Yep.
So that makes them 3/4 sisters, and this is a Sweet Lou, I should say, colt.
Yep.
Yeah, so really nice colt. Harvey Kaplan's got one out of a mare called Ala Vitesse. So you jumped on it straight away when I mentioned it earlier. So she's a half sister to One Change.
Yep.
So a Bettor's Delight filly. Trevor Swan's got one out of I'm a Spicy Lombo, and he's got one out of Kept in Play, which is a sister to Kept for Pleasure.
Yep.
And the one last year was only light frame, typical sort of first file. This filly by Crunch would probably be the best filly in my draft if you were to look at them right now.
Are you excited about the crunches?
I love them.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, I really like them.
They were well received in New Zealand. First lot going through the weanling sales, and that was one of the reasons why. And the Kiwis are generally reluctant to buy first season sires, and they were very, very keen on them.
Yeah, outstanding types and really good-minded horses.
Yeah.
So, we're an absolute really big rap from and breeding quite a few again this year.
You've got a huge range of horses here for people. You've got a huge range of stallions. Mares, if you like, as well. Q-bred eligible, New South Wales eligible and Victoria eligible. You've got a lot of diversity. That's why I think it's important that people come here and check out your draft.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, everything can be paid up for Bathurst, and then of course,
well, that's the greatest kicker as well, isn't it?
Yeah, and then of course the the eligibility for the Nutrien Race Series, which will be it's going to grow. There's no doubt it's going to grow with just sheer numbers. It's going to grow. So. And then the Queensland one, if you look at that Queensland sale and break it down, I think it's as good a value race series as there is. You've got an eligibility for Nutrient. You've got the Queensland Race Series, which I believe is 500,000 or 600,000. And then if they happen to be a New South Wales bred horse, you could then drop back down for the challenge.
The other part about Queensland, a lot warmer.
I'd love to be in Queensland right now, mate, I can tell you.
I'll give a teaser. I'm going to be there later in the week, and I'm looking forward to it immensely from being here. I can say that.
I can come with you, mate. I'd make a terrific cameraman.
Mate, thank you
No.
One, thanks for the hospitality. We've got mum and dad here as well overseeing, making sure we say everything right. So I think we've gone okay.
Yeah.
Dad's given us a thumbs up. So
Yeah,
we're
okay.
going okay. But I do encourage people. It's one thing that I have learned over the last couple of years is to get here and have a look at them. And it's also a lot easier on you guys. Like once you're prepping for yearling sales, it gets stressful. You'll have a heap of people coming through. But if people have already seen them once or twice, summer holidays are coming up. People want to have a break, get out of the rat race, come up here and have a look at the horses and go for it. So it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, and there's a heap of the Crookwell itself's a beautiful little community. There's a heap of little Airbnbs and the likes, and as I say, it's not far from Canberra or Sydney, so give us a call, pop out anytime you like.
And you want to scope the heat wave, you can get up here too.
If you're sick of the heat, you'll definitely be comfortable here.
Juddy, thank you very much. This is Out and About, brought to you by Nutrien. Don't forget the race series is going to be on tomorrow. This will air a bit later on this afternoon, but it'll be on tomorrow. But don't forget to keep up with everything on Nutrien. Go to nutrienequine.com.au, go to the Standardbred section, and you'll be able to keep up with everything as far as noms, yearling sales, where they're at, dates, and the whole lot. Thank you very much, Juddy.
Good on you, mate. Thank you.